Hi, I'm Jeremy Cowan for Vanilla Plus. Now, operators have been talking for years about how to improve the customer experience. The systems available have been predominantly focused, though, on either service or network optimization. Now, however, tools are starting to become available on the market that unify and structure data in such a way that they can answer questions from all over the business. So I want to talk to James Doyle of Arentech about how to improve customer experience and how to cut customer churn. Hi, James. I can't think of a better place to be standing to talk about the new horizons in communications. Can you?
I know, it's fantastic, yeah.
One of the things that I've noticed lately is there seems to be a real buzz around customer experience management. Why the sudden interest in CEM?
I think that's partly the success Aaron's had over the last few years in terms of delivering out key CEM projects to a number of very large telcos right across the world. And I think that that success is being reflected in the larger marketing budgets of our competitors. But no, seriously, I think that CEM is just a very, very strong value proposition that resonates with the business needs of today. I mean, it makes common sense to roll out such a strategy that's focused around the customer experience, and it ties in with a lot of the sort of latest thinking in terms of advocacy. And with that, you get growth, and I think that's a newsworthy topic.
Just to avoid confusion, I mean, there seem to be quite a number of definitions of customer experience management going around. What is it that Arentech understands by CEM?
Yeah, I think there is confusion actually in the marketplace, and I don't think that's because the CEM concept itself isn't clear. I mean, I think it is a very clear proposition, managing the customer experience across the business cycles. But I think what we see is CEM is rather a broad church that goes across the whole business domain, from OSS right the way to BSS. And Aaron really over the last 6 years has been focusing very much on building a component of that. So if you imagine it as a jigsaw, we've been doing one of the pieces. And the fact is there are many vendors providing different pieces of that jigsaw. It's just that we're providing a piece that enables a new data set across the whole.
In a time of such financial caution, how do service providers set about making a good business case for investment in CEM?
I think we're quite lucky. The actual definition of CEM means that you know who the customer is that's being affected. And if you look at the sort of mantra that we put into CEM, it's customer insight, which is who is having the problem, experience discovery, which is what is the problem they're having, and management action, which is what's the call to action to solve the problem. And when you take those three things and roll them together, they sort of naturally form into a business case. And when we do trials with our customers, we overlay their data, so they tend to see a lot of the value come out during the trials process, and that goes to build a very strong business case.
So does all of that mean that telcos are really going to have to up their game in terms of data warehousing and mining?
I don't think it's so much upping the game. I think it's more about learning to use a new data set. What we're providing really in that piece of the jigsaw puzzle I talked about earlier is a very specific heavy lift component which puts context and value on some of this data that's been typically used in the OSS stacks for different purposes. And what we're doing is pushing that data into the business processes, which will in turn mean that they are turning up in places like enterprise data warehousing. But really it's about learning how to use that new data set rather than upping the game. We're not trying to replace any existing infrastructure. We're really introducing a new set of data which brings with it a lot more insight.
I see. James, you've recently introduced a new product in the CEM space. Is it currently in use with any operators, and if so, what results are you seeing?
Yeah, we launched our Open Platform initiative in 2010, and part of that will be a number of components that we're launching out over the next few years. The ones that we've launched early in 2010 was a thing called ProAction, which allows us to essentially write business rules on top of event-triggered experience data coming from the network, and that's been very powerful with a number of our customers, and they've seen very successful results. And the sort of use cases are quite broad. They may be triggering bill shock use cases, or triggering experience campaigns around sort of micro campaigns in marketing, and find and fix type use cases around provisioning of handsets. So quite a broad spectrum, but very successful. The second part of Open Platform is a thing called ProData, and that's really us conditioning our data to be more usable by our business stakeholders and exporting it out into existing enterprise data warehouse type environments. And that component will evolve really over the next year or so in a number of phases, but we hope to get out a first phase this year, and we've got a couple of customers that are working with us on that opportunity. So, and the value of that is going to be very broad, and it's going to hopefully stimulate our partnership program as well.
James, thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you.